Now what we're going to be looking at today is the different drawing modes inside of CADWorx. There's 4 different modes. There's 3D solids, 2D double line, 2D single line, and 3D enhanced. Now we're going to be focusing on the 3D side of it since you bought CADWorx and you use CADWorx for modeling more than 2D drawing creation. So inside of CADWorx plant setup is where you make those changes. So we're going to start off with 3D solids. So we're going to hit apply and close. We're going to hit OK. And now we're going to route our pipe. Now you can see that this pipe is solid. It just creates a 3D AutoCAD solid shape. We're going to come over here and we're going to do a flange. Okay, you can see our flange here. We're going to put a valve, a little 6-inch gate valve. Put our hand wheel. And then we're going to finish this puppy out. Okay, so this is the 3D representation that almost everyone's used to in CADWorx. Especially if they've used it way before 2013. Well, what it does is it gives you your flange and your valve, but it represents the gaskets as this little squiggly line right here, and this B as far as the bolt. Imagine that. So again, functionality wise, it works fine. You drop it out on ISO, it's going to come out with the right bolt lengths and bolt count, right gaskets. But when you're doing a model review with a client, it's not, that great. I mean, it's just, shows you where everything is. Now, since 2013, they have added this 3D enhanced mode. Most people still haven't embraced it, but I want to show you what it is. So if you go back up to your AutoCAD setup, or your CADWorx setup, excuse me, come back down to 3D enhanced, and then we're going to hit apply and close and hit OK. And we're going to do the same layout. So here's our pipe. We're going to a little pipe right here, and you can see that the pipe is now hollow. And so you still have your center line, and you got your pipe, but it's hollow. So we're going to come over here, bring this out, and we're going to do our flange first like we did before. And there's our flange. Now you notice that our flange now has bolt holes. If we rotate this around, you can see that are actually hollow. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is put our valve, and we're going to put another gate valve. And you can see that it's also put the bolts in different way. So we're going to finish this out, and we're going to dissect this a little bit. So here's our bolts. They're going through the holes of the flange and the valve. But also, if we turn this back on 2D single line, you notice that the B is missing, and also the squiggly line for the gasket. So let's turn this back onto shaded. We're going to pull this apart a little bit and look at the different pieces. So here's our flange. We're going to move it over. Here's our bolts. Move these over. And last but not least, our gasket. Now there's our gasket. It looks more like a gasket instead of just a little squiggly line. Now, the functionality is the same. If you isogen this out, the pieces are going to come back. But it looks a little bit better in a model review, a little bit more realistic. And the one thing I do like is that you can quickly see how many bolts are supposed to be in that flange and that valve. And, the whole thing kind of comes along. It's easier to delete. It's easier to see those instead of a whole bunch of B's on the screen. But as far as functionality, it still works the same. There's not much change. You can still ISO it out with no problem. So that's a brief overview of the 3D modeling side of, or 3D modeling modes of CADWorx. So I hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments below if there's anything you would like to see me talk about or go over. Please leave a comment, shoot me an email. Please visit cadcrazy.com and look forward to making more of these.